welcome back to my garage. Look, we're already improving. I got a mic, new camera. Today, I'm gonna be doing a 30,000 mile review on my car as I just clicked over around 33,000, so about 3,000 after the 30,000. But I'm gonna go over the 5 things that I hate about the car and the 5 things that I love. Now, I love this car, so the things that I hate are probably gonna be a little bit more negligible, meaning that they're not as impactful on you as the things that I love about this car. So again, bias, but the first thing that I hate about this car is that in a lot of other cars, when you put stuff in the door bins, they don't rattle around because there's felt lined in there. This car does not have that. I had it in a previous car, and you don't notice it until you don't have it. And when you don't have it and things are rattling around in your door bins, it's quite obnoxious. I live in Utah, so I have an ice scraper in my door bin just in case I need to clear the snow and ice off my windshield pretty much year round, though I only need it in the winter. But it still rattles around and bugs the crap out of me. So that's one of my biggest grievances about that. The fourth thing is the tank capacity. So the gasoline tank in this car is about 14.5 gallons. I can't remember the exact number, but that gets you about 400 miles on a tank, which is good. I wish it was a little bit bigger. In this subcompact segment, I think this tank size has been the same in this platform, the MQB platform, for a long time. I remember the same size tank in my GTI, that was a 2017, as well as a 2016 A3. So I think that there's some room for the tank to get a little bit bigger. Again, that might compromise the packaging of this platform, but would love a little bit more range out of the car, as you only get about 400 miles on a tank. I know that might be me nitpicking and complaining a little bit, but the third thing that I don't like about this car is the storage. There's very little room to put anything in the glove box, as well as there's very little room in the armrest right next to you. And it creates a little bit of an issue because everyone needs something in their car at one point or another, and so they shove it in, but there's not really room in this car to do it. I golf a lot, and golf clubs are a squeeze in the trunk, which is a little unfortunate because, I mean, it's a trunk. You should be able to fit golf clubs in it. Sometimes I have to end up folding the seat down to fit multiple sets of golf clubs, and that's a little obnoxious. One of the biggest things that bugs me about this third point are the sunglasses. There's no place to put your sunglasses. They don't have anything up on the roof that just drops down for you to put them in. You have to put them in the armrest, underneath the armrest, and there's really not much space to be had. So the sunglasses take up a lot of that space anyway. The second biggest thing is probably going to be a lot of people's biggest grievance is the piano black. Now, there is piano black all over the interior of the car. I believe that you can get inserts that change that, and I'm looking into that for the middle section where the gear shift is, the gear select. Trying to put a carbon fiber piece in there instead of the piano black, because the piano black is just, it gets scratched, it gets smudged, it looks dirty all the time. So I know everyone has a problem with piano black, but that's still up there as one of the bigger problems with the interior of the vehicle. Now, the number one most obnoxious thing is, for some reason, I don't know what happened in the wind tunnel when they designed this car, but the wing mirrors will not get rid of water droplets on the wing mirrors. Most other vehicles, they have, the air flows through, so it dries the water and it's not that big of an issue. This one, on this car, there's constantly water droplets on your rear view mirrors anytime it rains, anytime there's any sort of precipitation, and it won't go away unless you wipe it off physically. I think that's one of the biggest problems that I see with this vehicle. Now, moving on to the thing about this car. Number one, I love the look. I love, when I was at the dealership, the salesman was like, oh, you're doing a Stormtrooper build. Yeah, I guess it is kind of a Stormtrooper build, but I just love the contrast of the black accents with the white. I think it looks great. I think it looks significantly better than the last generation as well. So the 8Y, I think, is just a very good looking car. The fourth thing that I love about the car is, I already talked about it in my previous video, but it's the sunshade. So Audi is one of the few people that allows you to move the sunshade on the sunroof independently of the sunroof. So whether the sunroof is open or closed, you can retract and put back the sunshade, which blocks any sun from coming in. Just gives you a little bit more shade, but you can still get the fresh air. So I think that's a really cool feature. And then the third thing is, you can't get an S or an RS Audi product without getting the seats. Now I say that as kind of a hypocrite because I didn't option the seats initially with my vehicle, which I lucked out on because the dealership optioned them automatically without my consent. So I didn't have to pay for them and I still got them. So I lucked out on that, but I actually really do love the quilted stitching on the seats. And anyone who's sat in an Audi with quilted stitching, that's usually one of the biggest remarks that people make when they sit in an S-Line or RS vehicles. Oh, I love the seats. So if you were to build a newer Audi and you're doing an S or an RS, I would recommend, well, RS automatically will come with this quilted, it's kind of a hexagonal stitch on the RS models, and then, or honeycomb, they call it honeycomb stitch. And then on the S, it's the quilted stitch, the diamond stitch. So I would recommend getting it, even though I didn't, I just lucked out and got it. The second thing, the suspension in this car with the dynamic, in the Sport Performance package, it gives you the automatic adjustable suspension. So depending on which mode you're in, it's going to adjust the dampening. And that honestly it's incredible in this vehicle. When it's in comfort mode, you cruise along, you hit any type of disturbance in the road, like a small bump or anything like that, and the comfort suspension just absorbs it. And then when you go into dynamic, now it doesn't make the suspension uncomfortable, it's still very comfortable, but it allows you to feel the road more and really engage. And with this heavier steering that it gives you as well, it just really changes the performance of the vehicle. So that Sport Performance suspension is one of my favorite things about the car, because it makes it ride very smoothly in comfort mode, but also gives you the feel and the feedback that you need when you're driving more sporty. And then the last thing that I love about this car is it's one of the most practical vehicles I can think of for a daily commuter. It is one of those cars that you can drive comfortably around, get good gas mileage, bordering on great gas mileage. Sometimes I get over 35 miles to the gallon if I'm just cruising on the highway for a significant distance. You can eke the economy out of this vehicle with its 2-liter turbo. But the other thing is you can turn the dynamic mode on and you can light your hair on fire. You can go as fast as you'll ever need to go. And it just turns into a performance vehicle that you can make a docile daily commuter as well. That's super comfortable and practical. You can fit people in the back. Probably not 3 full adults in the back, but you can still fit several people in the back. Those are the main things that I came up with, the 5 things that I love and the 5 things that I hate about this vehicle. Please let me know if you've owned one of these and you have different opinions or something that I missed. But thank you so much for watching. This is Barefoot German, and make someone smile today.